Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, I think that pretty much covers it in terms of people who would realistically be listening to the show. I mean, I normally throw in things like animals, but, I mean, come on. Number one, most animals don't have internet access, and if they do, they're borrowing their owners. It's not really their internet access. So, and chances are also that the whole language barrier would prevent them from really getting too involved heavily with the show. But you are listening to the Bob Doyle Show. Thank you. Broadcasting live from our palatial studios here in Los Angeles, California. It's so weird to say that. You know, being from Atlanta my whole life, and then actually to say broadcasting from Los Angeles, California. It sounds so, official. So, hey, look, be a part of the show, will you? You know, I know the day will come when there'll be so many people calling to just contribute, or we have guests or whatever, that this whole issue of me saying, come on, call, that'll go away. But I'm also clear that that's probably not going to happen until I get some semblance of order to this program. I've been, doing it sporadically for a couple of years, and now I said, okay, every Monday night at 7. And the one thing that I haven't really done yet is taken any time at all on planning a show, an actual show. It's just me doing whatever for 30 minutes. And of course, the goal is, as I've said, to have guests and things. And that would be really easy to arrange. All I really need to do is ask someone. And I still haven't done that. So it's the show. So today really is the show that shouldn't happen. If you're watching on the Hangout, you can see I'm wearing some old sweatshirt that says Bum Equipment on it. Kind of how I'm feeling today. And, I'm all bedraggled. I think that's the word I'm looking for. I'm bedraggled. I'm a little tired today, too. But the show must go on. Now, that's not really true. No one would miss it if I didn't do it. No sponsors would be upset. No one's going to go, what? I planned my whole evening around this being live. What do you mean there's no show? No, that would not happen. But I have to act like a professional, right? If I'm going to do this, which I am. Eventually I will get my act together on this and do this correctly. But in any case, it is the Bob Doyle Show, and I will talk about a few things. It's been, and normally that's what this really is. It's just me talking, well, that's an example of me not talking, okay? It's been an interesting week around here. And it kind of was a shopping-centric, I don't do a lot of just going out and shopping, but this week was kind of like, wow, I did some shopping. And we just recently joined Costco, And I was a Sam's Club member in Atlanta, but I've been in L.A. here for a couple of years and still haven't really, but we finally joined Costco. And that's that whole, you walk in there that first day to get the Costco card, right? And for those of you who don't know, it's like a membership warehouse where you're supposed to get stuff at really low prices because you're buying in bulk and that type of stuff. So just for those of you who don't know what Costco is, that was rude. Sorry. So then you just walk in there and you just, for those who don't have video, I'm staring off into space as if to simulate the being overwhelmed with the massiveness of a Costco. And we're going up and down the aisles and saying, well, we could get this, we could get this. Well, let's go do it the next time. I can't tell you how many times I said, well, not this time, but next time I got. But so last time we went this week was the next time from the first time. Are you following? So we actually did make a few purchases. But I'm actually not even here to tell you about the purchases that we made at Costco because I'm way more excited about the purchases that we made at Bed Bath & Beyond. So here in LA, they have several Bed Bath & Beyonds, but they have this one on Olympic, which is 2 stories and just freaking huge. And Bed Bath & Beyond is it's a store where it just makes you realize how much you didn't know that you needed. You're looking and you go, oh, I totally need that. I absolutely need that. How did I live without that thing? We walked in there because one of the many reasons we went in there, one of our wine opener, those wine openers that, you crank the handles. This is why I shouldn't be doing a show. No ability to speak English. But I wish I had it here. But it's a handle, then you crank it, it pulls the cork right back up. Anyway, ours broke. And so we were getting a replacement. So we get in there and we walk to the back, and there's this whole little, I'm blending stories. I hate when I do that. This wasn't a Bed Bath & Beyond, but it wasn't at the Bed Bath & Beyond that I'm talking about. This was a Bed Bath & Beyond that we went to the day before to buy some things, and we ended up having to return a couple of pillows. Pillows! This is where I am in my life. Buying pillows at Bed Bath & Beyond, and then returning them the next day. Wasn't my decision, but it's irrelevant. Point is, we get in there the first day and we find the little aisle, the little area where there's bar type stuff. But the wine thing that we want is way up, like out of reach, where I'm having to stand on my toes and reach and just try to push it just so it falls off the thing. And people are looking at me and all that, and no one's offering help, but they're looking at me. And I get it, and I'm like, wow, that was a lot of work. And then we walk around the corner, and there they are right there at ground level somewhere else. So, anyway, but the big bed, and so on. So actually there is a reason to bring up the first visit to Bed Bath & Beyond, besides telling that amazingly humorous anecdote about reaching the wine opener. One of the other things we saw as we were walking around are these, they have a lot of the Homedics device, products, and those are all the massagers, right? Foot massagers, back massagers, neck massagers, the things you hold in your hand, that, and all sorts of different therapeutic. I know I'm dropping a lot of brand names. It'd be great if I was getting paid for every mention. But one day, oh yes, one day. But anyway, I never buy those things because I always feel like they're cheap or they just don't, whatever. They're not really going to give you a massage. The last time I bought a massage chair thing was years ago, and really all it did was vibrate, and I think it maybe had some heat, but I don't even remember the heat, just the vibration. And that was supposed to be your massage, right? And all it really did was give me a massive headache. I mean, like, the vibration it was horrifying. So, didn't use that very much. And I guess that put the bad taste in my mouth on this one. Anywho, so they have a couple of these chair, like things that you put on any chair to give you the massage. Now, the technology in massage chairs has definitely improved over the past 5-10 years or so. And that other thing I got was way before that. And when I was in Atlanta, we'd invested in one of the big massage chairs, that squeezes your arms and your legs and does the whole shiatsu thing up the back and figures out how tall you are, just the whole thing. And that was awesome, and I missed that. But I always had in my head, well, I'm just going to have to wait until we got space for another one because we're in an apartment here and we want to keep it uncluttered and so whatever. But they had the things for the chair with now the massage, the shiatsu stuff, the balls that roll up and down and go wide and stuff. So it's much more advanced than just vibration. I said, all right, I'm going to sit in this chair and see. Now, this was at the first Bed Bath & Beyond. And I sit in, there were two of them, and I sit in one, and it said something about having 3D technology, which I have no idea what they're talking about. And it was okay, but it wasn't great. And Lynn was sitting in another one. It was a little more expensive. But I sat in it, and I was like, hey, this is pretty nice, And I just kind of bookmarked it. No intention of buying it or anything like that. Well, then, of course, we have to return those pillows the next day, and now we go into this big Bed Bath & Beyond. And I just kind of said in my head, well, if they happen to have the chair out on display again, maybe I'll get one. Maybe. Well, needless to say, on the lower level, they had one. And I bought it. and I'm sitting on it right now. So I'm going to move for a second for those who are watching in video. Here it is. You can see as I'm dropping papers on the floor. I actually have it strapped in, but you can see even through. These are like the rollers, and they go up and down and back and forth and all of that. And there's heat, and it does a really nice job. I got to say, I'm really impressed. And so you got the little remote, and you've got the full upper and lower massage, right? So if I turn it on, and it's already doing its thing, you might be able to hear it does the kneading, but it also does the tap, the percussive tap, doing all that. I can put it anywhere on my body that I want and adjust the width of the roller so that I can get exactly where I need. I can do a lower body up, full, or lower. Full. Hi, I'm Bob Doyle. Full, upper, lower. Very easy to control. And heat, which turns red when you push it because that's what heat does. So, anyway, that's it. I'm not going to obviously run that while we're doing our program here. But I will say this. It actually is just as good or better than the massage technology in the big chair that I had in Atlanta. Now, it's just the back part. Obviously, my arms aren't getting massaged. My butt's not getting squeezed. My calves aren't getting squeezed. And there's no rollers on my feet. So there's a lot of blanks to fill in. Oh, yes, before it's a full massage. But I got to tell you, to be able to sit down here in my office and actually do whatever it is that I want to do, it's even a little bit more freeing than the big chair, which is you sit in the big chair. That's what you're doing. I mean, you could have your laptop in your lap or something, but you couldn't do all the amazing millions of multitasky things I do here in this studio. And you may have noticed, hey, Bob, there's something different about your studio. What is it? What's different? Good eye. Normally, we have a green screen back here on the wall for all of our chroma key needs, because we are video professionals, mostly Lynn. And what? Oh, you hear that noise? You hear that noise? That's my phone, my iPhone 5, going from being charged to not being charged because it's plugged in, but I have to position it very precariously so that I'm going to show you right now. See, look, you heard it just go down. Right now, it has to be positioned so that this, like I push this up. If I let go, you can hear it go, well, you didn't hear it go down, but it's not being charged right now, and then push it up. So that means that every time I charge it, I have to, angle it in such a way so there's weight. Oh, I can't tell you how frustrating it is. We have iPhone 6 Pluses coming. Oh, yes. But they're on back order, so end of November, they say, or early December. Normally I'm anxious about my iPhone upgrades anyway because you're excited. It's a new phone. Yeah, new phone. But now it's like just freaking necessity. I'm really over this charging problem, right? Hey, so here's a great idea. Tell all your friends about this program. You'd be saying, well, Bob, why? Why? So far, there's not really much of a program. You just kind of, yeah. But see, what we need here, and I still haven't even told you how to participate, even though if you're on the page at bobdoyleshow.com, which is where you should be consuming this and all of the podcasts that we are part of here. We have Fun with Bob and Lynn that we do tomorrow. Ooh, except you know what? Well, okay. I'm really trying to say too much at once, but I'm going to tell you this anyway. Total derail. Total, just absolute, don't know where I was going with that at all. Oh yeah, tell your friends. Tell your friends to call. Here's how to call. You got to use Skype right now. I keep saying, and I think I mean it, that I'm going to get a Skype phone number so that I can say, hey, call, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. So you could actually call from your phone, but you're not listening on your phone. You're at your computer. If you're watching this or you're listening, most likely you're on your computer, unless you subscribe on iTunes, which is a fine idea, and then you download the podcast and listen on your mobile device. But if you're doing that, then you can't call in because it's not live. So what's the point? The point is, if you're watching this live or listening live, most likely you're at a computer, not a phone. So if you have Skype, and come on, who doesn't have Skype? It's free, Skype.com. What's the problem? You can call us the ID is Bob Doyle Show. Just Bob Doyle Show, no spaces. You'll call. I'll get a little, we'll all hear you call or request a contact thing, and then I can do that, and then I can bring you in, and that's it. So then we can discuss things like massage chairs. What's your favorite massage chair story? I have to tell you, I was in radio for a long time, and, well, I shouldn't say a long time. I was in radio for a reasonable amount of time a long time ago. And when I started, I was DJ, music, thinking I was hilarious, right? And then morning shows and things like that. And morning shows are always, give us a call. What's your favorite Thanksgiving memory? And oh my God, I mean that was the formula. And I grew to totally despise it, especially after I started listening to Chicago talk radio, where it was much more free form, a lot more like this, but clever. So now when I come up, when I'm thinking about show topics or what I want to talk about, it's like, it reminds me of all the production meetings we would have. Like we do a show and then immediately go to the program director's office and say, what are we talking about tomorrow? And we'd all just rack our brains for ridiculous things for people to call in and talk about. And it was just, mind numbing. And so when I say things like, what's your favorite Thanksgiving memory? I mean, that's a valid thing to talk about, but we have to talk about it. If we're going to have a show like this where we take calls, quote unquote, which maybe we won't. Maybe if no one wants to call, that's fine. I'm going to go back to the guest idea. And then if you want to talk to the guest, that's cool. Then you can call and talk to the guest. And of course, if you have guest ideas. Now, see, here's the thing. I'm in the personal development industry. Most people know me from The Secret, teaching law of attraction, things like that. And clearly, I don't do any of that on this show. I mean, I might if it came up or if the guest was right and it was appropriate, but it wouldn't be like, like people are used to. I wouldn't be teaching per se. I might be talking about it, but that's not what this show is for. Nor any of the shows that I do are about that, because there's plenty of ways to consume Bob Doyle from The Secret that aren't this podcast. Now, if there was a big, huge demand that says, hey, Bob Doyle from The Secret, that version of me, we'd love for you to do a podcast and talk about the law of attraction, and we'll sponsor you and all of that. Great. Bring it. I can do that. Or I could just do free Google Hangouts. You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever. This is different. This feels more like radio. Plus, we got this video element with Hangouts, and so it's fun. But the participation would be awesome. I like talking to people. I do. Until they get on my nerves or something. Anyway, Bob Doyle Show is the Skype if you want to call. If you don't, that's fine, because I can just keep doing this. I've only got 12 more minutes to do this. Can you believe that? And I've only talked about a couple of things. So but if I did take calls, if I was going to do a topic show, like, what's your opinion on this? Ugh. But if I were going to, or if I found that my audience was, I don't want to say sophisticated enough because that's not the right word, but of the mindset to be able to discuss these types of things with something of an edge or some humor, or not just that, I remember when I was 12 and I did it. Whatever. You could tell that story too if you want to. Right now I take any story. Right? I mean, beggars can't be choosers. But I'm not begging, really. Like I said, I easily got 12 minutes to talk. It's, whatever. But here's one of the things that I noticed that I do not... I mean, I guess I understand it on some level, but it's all about being programmed. Let me explain. You or someone you know is a person who gets upset when they see Christmas decorations go up in stores before or around Halloween, right? You know someone, or you are that person who just automatically goes, ugh, can't they just wait until at least after Thanksgiving? Or can't they just wait until the commercialism, blah. And I'm like, do you really need to be getting upset about this? I mean, what difference does it make? Truly. What difference does it make? Oh, by the way, there's a comment section underneath this on the Bob Doyle Show page, and I'd love for you to leave comments. just so I can hear you breathing. You know what I mean? All right. And you can leave those comments even if you're listening to the replay. You don't have to be live. But yeah, the whole thing about like, it's just the getting upset, because I feel like we've just been programmed, and it's like it's kind of snooty. It's kind of like, I am so grounded, and I hate commercialism so bad. And by the way, you're in a store buying stuff right now as you say that. So, that I'm going to take the position that I think it's disgusting that they put Christmas out. It's just so horrible, Is it really horrible? I mean, there's really not that much to discuss. If you react that way, you've been taught to react that way. It is what it is. They're putting up stuff that they're going to sell for the Christmas season, which is a month and a half away. And really, the earlier you get all that stuff out of the store and into your home and ready, the better. What's the problem? Can someone explain it? I mean, really, is it if you're going to play the commercialism card? I'm sorry, we're going to have to look at the rest of your life and see where you buy into commercialism. People just pick and choose what they're going to get upset about and what's too commercial. Christmas not allowed to be commercial. Other things are okay. Whatevs. It's just I can't engage. It's just that whole I don't know if I ever really felt that way, but it was like I might have nodded my head a couple. Are they playing Christmas music? It's not even Thanksgiving, But so what? Let it go. There are so many other things that you could be using your mental energy on than getting upset that Macy's has a Christmas tree up in July. Just food for thought. Just something. See, if I can take any angst or stress or anxiety out of your life, then I would like to do that. I am a champion for that. And it's probably because I'm wearing my Ohm pendant. This was given to me by Diana Lumens. I hope I said that right. Who is a neighbor and a thought leader. And we actually met in the laundry room. And then she was kind enough to come down for my birthday party. And she gave me this, which is really nice. And it just, Ohm, right? And it just I just feel good when I'm wearing it. Even though, it might look a little, because I'm dressed poorly. I mean, I put this on this morning because it was cool. And I just never changed because I've been sitting in front of the computer and getting the office ready, with the studio ready. Lynn has a client in here all day tomorrow. So I've been getting the studio video ready and getting cameras and all this stuff set up for her because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to get out of here and let her do her thing. So if you're in the LA area and you want to hang out, just call me and let's hook up. Not LA area, Marina Del Rey, okay? Because I'm not going to, One thing I am going to do tomorrow is I have to go to Fry's electronics store, okay? Because the computer that I've been using since 2000 whatever 10, I don't know, something like that, to write music. I bought a computer that is specifically for writing music, keyboards and stuff like that. And it died this week. And motherboard's bad. Took it into Fry's to find out why I couldn't turn it on. Bad motherboard. It's history. Normally, I'd be really super upset about that because it is my music computer. There's a lot of software in there, and I got hardware that's now basically not going to do anything. But while it was there, I said, well, just temporarily, let's see what would happen if this is really a story that you don't care about. The point is that I had just also gotten a new computer for my regular work. I started loading up some of my music stuff into it, and it works so much better than it did on my music computer that now I'm just kind of moving everything over to that, upgraded some sounds. I'm very excited about getting into writing some music again, like really getting into not just playing the uke, which of course is my passion, but also getting back into writing my orchestral type stuff and just getting all this music that's in me out. And so I'm very excited about all of that. So that's one thing I will be doing tomorrow, is going to Fry's and picking up my dead computer. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to take the hard drives out and see what data I can get off of them. And then I've got just another box. You have no idea how many, in my history, how many computers have ended up in the Bob Doyle virtual graveyard. I mean, I could buy another motherboard maybe and bring it back to life. I don't know. I'd probably figure out some place to donate it. Wouldn't that be nice? And then it's somebody else's problem. That's not very considerate, is it? Okay, so I've told you about the chair. I've related my angst around people who get upset about early Christmas or early whatever. And we've talked about Bed Bath & Beyond, how it is the store. I mean, here's the thing. It truly is amazing what is in that store, right? I mean, and the deals are pretty good. And they always have those 20%, you know, if you're, I don't know, if you don't have Bed Bath & Beyond where you are, then again, this is wasted on you, I guess. Except that you just like to hear me say Bed Bath & Beyond. But they're always sending out 20% off coupons. And so you can save a ton of money, and they've just got everything. And you know, so we buy coffee there for our Keurig. Well, what else did we get? We replaced the pillows that were not going to work. Bought a set of knives. No, we got that at Costco. Set of knives, sharp knives. Lynn didn't have knives when I moved in here, not a whole set of sharp knives, and so we finally got that. It's one of the things I've been doing is kind of bringing the kitchen, because I do a lot of cooking, and I didn't bring, you know, when I moved from Atlanta, a lot of my kitchen stuff is still in storage because, you know, you got to choose wisely when you're going to drive all your stuff across the country. So I said, well, Lynn's got kitchen stuff. I don't need to bring all this stuff right now. But then I get here and go, oh, wait, we don't have this. We don't have this. We don't have this. So I bought an electric carving knife, which I have not had since I've been here, which is very awesome. And I used it yesterday to cut up a rotisserie chicken that I rotisseried on our grill. We purchased a grill about a little over a year ago when we first moved into this place. And it came with did it come? No, I bought a rotisserie attachment thinking I'm totally going to use this. A year plus later, I actually installed it because I kept thinking it was going to be too much of a hassle to install. It took like 15 minutes and nothing. And did a chicken yesterday, and oh my God, it was so good. So good. And I know you can go to Costco and for $5 buy a rotisserie chicken that's going to taste just as good or probably better. And it's not, and you don't have the hassle. But sometimes you just want to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just want to say, I will cook this. And at Costco, which is where I bought the chicken, you can't just buy one chicken. You have to buy 2 whole chickens. So I did one chicken yesterday, and now I've got another chicken that I need to cook. I thought I was going to cook it today, but I will probably cook it tomorrow. So what do you think I should do? When do you think I should cook it? Do you think I should cook it tonight? Cook it tomorrow? Your calls at BobDoyleShow.com. No, not BobDoyleShow.com. Bob Doyle Show on Skype. Okay, you know what? I think I basically did it. I was going to show you an app on the iPad. I'm going to try something real quick. I'm going to try switching the camera and hope this doesn't screw everything up. I'm hoping I'm still recording. So there's an app that I was going to show you on this for creating music. And in fact, the theme to this show, the one that I'm about to play here to get us out of here, is written or produced with this app. And there's something about, and I do want to do apps on this show. That is because I am an app fiend, and I collect a lot of photography apps and music apps. Those are my favorites. And I would love to have a little segment where I say, hey, this is the cool app or apps that I got this week and show you. But I don't like this whole setup of taking an alternative webcam and pointing it down. I'd love to be able to know how they, hook up the, get a video out or just some other thing. But I'd love to be able to share some of the cool apps I have with you because I get a lot of comments on the photography that I do with these apps. And then there's this music stuff that's also really, really cool. So if you're a creative type, I'd love to be able to do an app type segment. Just wasn't real. I just didn't like the setup here for this one. So I decided to just talk about pillows instead. So I hope that was I hope that you're pleased with that idea that I just talked about pillows. Okay, I'm now going to end this program. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to have this music playing, and then eventually I'm going to stop talking, and then I will turn the music down and hit stop on both my audio broadcast and my video broadcast. And that, my friends, is how you end a show. It was a free broadcast lesson from Bob Doyle, your friend Bob Doyle, at BobDoyleShow.com. So I think here's the commitment I think I'd like to make. Next week, I'm going to have a guest. That's it. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to find a guest, and it's not going to be Lynn, and it's not going to be Rob Scott, Master Broadcaster. I'm going to find a full-on, real, legitimate a guest who has something to talk about, and then we're going to actually have a program. And when I find out who that person is, I'm going to start promoting days in advance. Hey, join me on Bob Doyle Show, on the Bob Doyle Show, where my guest will be this person, and we'll talk about this amazing thing, and we're going to take your calls at this, and get your contact requests in now, blah, 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 and it's going to be awesome. This is Turning Point. Right now, you just saw the turning point in this broadcast. So until next Monday, well, actually, I will be talking with you tomorrow on the Fun with Bob and Lynn show, but Lynn will not be a part of it. So we may do a previously recorded something or other because she's got her client tomorrow. So anyway, thank you, one and none, for listening and not watching again to the Bob Doyle Show.